design, wouldn't matter how many they need, because they'd get caught up easy. They'd get caught up easy. Because they still have to cheat enough to have even a dead name on a ballot or a cheated ballot. They still have to have enough to match what the count was, right? And at some point in time, it's just impossible. At some point in time, it's just humanly impossible, even with a mechanical counting machine. And like I said, they can only cheat just so many of them. Can't cheat them all, especially in the rural counties.
Did you see that last video from Sheriff Mack, CSP?
No, I sadly, I've been so busy, I haven't been able to
Yeah.
keep up with Richard.
It was really interesting. The officers were investigating this, I think he was Pakistani fellow, that was running a different
Yeah.
kind of a business on the side.
Yeah, he had 42 ballots at his house.
And then,
Mhm.
well, they were looking for this other evidence and they found these ballots. And they thought, well, that doesn't mean it's illegal.
Well, the worst thing is they found the ballots and didn't think anything about it because law enforcement's not trained enough on election fraud.
Right, but they got
Then
down
when
to
other
it.
evidence came up, then they realized and remembered that he had 42 ballots, and then they went back and arrested him. But he was a top Democrat that was doing that.
Yeah, town councilman or
Do
something.
you remember when Gore evidently won the president?
2020, yeah, or 2000, yeah.
And
The
then,
hanging Chad incident.
Then George Bush's brother puts it from Florida up there, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden, then they kind of just swiped it under the table.
Yeah, let me tell you something. The reason why the Republicans aren't screaming so bad about 2020, because they've been cheating just as bad as the Democrats, I'm here to tell you. I'm sorry,
Well, you
that's
can
the
see
truth.
Coming after that, you know, because the announcers or the broadcasters have kept track of it. Then Jeb Bush has got to come in from Florida,
Mhm.
and then you don't hear about it, and Gore, he was just kind of,
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was not a big fan of Gore,
no, I wasn't.
but I'm a big fan of elections running proper, whether it's the guy I want or not.
Right.
We have to run them proper. And it's not going to happen until we demand it of our own party, because our own party's doing it. Look, in Hillsdale, they're all Republicans. They fixed the 2022 August election for precinct delegates. We caught them at it. Caught them at it. And yet they're the same ones going around going, whoa, Trump got screwed in 2020. Well, what are you doing? What are you doing? You cannot complain about something you're doing yourself. What's the Bible say? Take the log out of your own eye before you start taking the speck out of your brother's eye.
Right.
Right? Principles only work when we practice them, not when we preach them. That's another truth. It's real easy to go around spouting principles. It's much harder to live them. But principles only work when you've got the courage to put them into daily practice. Period. We still came here. We raised a good nation. We're here. We are a melting pot. The problem is our immigration lacks horribly. Our southern border is a sieve. So instead of getting people who want to be here, we get people that are fleeing other places to be here. We've got our own government going and picking people and bringing them here to destroy and dilute this nation. I don't have a problem with anybody that does the immigration properly and comes to this country,
Amen to that.
wants to be a
Right.
part of this country.
Right.
I served with people in the military that were serving and risking their life, and if they did it for a certain amount of years and survived,
They become citizens.
they became a citizen.
Right.
Now, why would anybody give a blank check with their life to a country that they're not from if it's not a great nation, if it's not the greatest nation on this earth? I don't see anybody going to Mexico and going, hey, I'll fight for you.
No, I disagree. May not be I think we are the greatest nation, but we're not perfect.
No. Could we be a lot better? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I've always said that. We should never sit back on our laurels and just go, well, we're good enough. No, good enough isn't good.
Well, yeah, it's only good enough for the government.
You can,
Yeah, yeah.
you have to always strive every day, to be better. When I ran track, I wasn't ever trying to beat anybody else, I was trying to beat my last
Same
time.
like when you go out and play golf or bowl.
That's right.
The one you're competing against is yourself.
It should be. But I'm a big believer in having a nation that people can come to. I'm a big believer in making sure that those people that come here go through a certain process. And I think it's absolutely wrong that the people that have waited and gone through that process, it sometimes takes 8, 10 years, and I think that's a problem. That needs to be fixed. What a huge disservice to them that we just allow someone to sneak in and then give them the same rights, give them the
Give
same
them more.
benefits.
Yeah.
Now, I think they have the same rights because they're
Well, yeah,
created
right,
by God,
Right,
whether they believe in God or not.
right.
They still have, because they're created in God's own image, they have those rights inherent.
Right.
But
Guaranteed.
they shouldn't be given the privileges of our tax money when they jumped ahead of the line and came in. That in and of itself is a crime. We shouldn't be enticing criminals into the United States. We got plenty of them in Washington, D.C. We don't need any more.